here, and today I'm going to show to you some brush that I created for Rebelle, for watercolor in Rebelle. It's really strange ones, but I will share anyway. So I'll show to you here. I will share the plants group and the random sets too. So the plants one, the P1 in the plants is a brush, simple round brush for details. I don't use water at all because it's for details, right? So sometimes you want to add some highlights, some plants, some highlights in the water. So this is the brush. The spacing, the shape, it's really normal one. Okay, so the P2 is the brush for plants, for grass, for anything. It is really, it's a really nice brush, and after it's dry you see all this texture and it's really nice. If you zoom in, you will see that don't make any sense but after it's dry it makes this nice brush texture. Okay, this is the settings, and if you want more opacity, if you want more water, more opacity, if you want to change the size jitter here. The size jitter is basically it show the big and small shapes together. So if you increase it, it will be the difference of the difference of the size of the brush increase and decrease together. So you see big brush and smaller brushes together. It's nice. So this brush is really cool. The P3B, it's a hashtag brush. It's a brush I made for grass, but it's more a brush for filling, to adding more texture, and you see that sometimes you can, if you want to fill some white spaces but with more texture, you can use this one. It's a really nice brush. So the P4 is I made this brush to make flowers. I saw some watercolor paintings that the people like to do dots for flowers and it makes sense and it's really nice. So I made this brush here for flowers. You can just you can add more water, and you can increase here the spacing, you can lower the spacing. So this brush here is really nice. You can adjust the scatter, the size jitter, you can do some brushes smaller, other bigger. The shape and grain here, you see there's 3 different brushes, different sizes, to add more random of the size and the shape. And the angle, I think, don't matter too much. Okay, it's a simple brush for flowers. The P5 is for flowers too, but it adds more dots and more smaller dots with together bigger. This brush is really nice to fill really quick the grass with some flowers, and it's a really nice brush. This one for flowers, really nice. The P6A is a brush for leaves. You see here it adds, if you hold and paint, you see that there is some space, but I like to paint, do some paint here and there, so you can add some leaves. The P6B, it adds more leaves and more together like this, and you can increase the spacing, decrease the spacing. I think if you decrease too much, it will make it blend, but I like to have this little separated but different directions, the leaves. And the opacity jitter, it's the maximum, so you can see some light ones or darker, or so darker ones. So you don't need to use the eraser or change the colors all the time. So you can make like paint like this, very nice. The P7A, P7A, it's another shape of the brush. These two leaves here, so to add more handle shapes, more texture on each. So this brush here, really nice. And the P8 is I made this brush to make trees, but you can make this brush for bushes, some cabin, add some grasses. I think you can even make clouds. I didn't test yet, but maybe you can make some clouds. I think it's worth doing, but I made this brush for trees, so that's it. So this is the plants group. It's a very nice set that I created this week. So let's go to the hand-on set 2. The hand-on set 2, the P3A, it's the variation of the P3B on the plants group, and it's a simple grass brush. I like to have this brush here, so you don't need to make one by one. You can make already. That's it. You can decrease the spacing, so you like this thing here. So again, more textures. You can increase the side jitter, so you have more variation of the size, right, of the grass. You can add grain. You can adjust the angle, like the angle jitter a little to add more handle direction. So this is a really nice brush. 7B is the variation of the 7A. So this 7B, the 7B, so it has more leaves and more. Let's see. Yeah, the 7A is there is one shape. The 7B there's two. It's a mix with two brushes. So there's two brushes on each. So again, more leaves on each, so you can add more plants. The P6, it's little brush here that I like to have like this effect. I use for like have this sensation of wind. So I use this brush here to make like leaves on the wind. The wind, I don't know. So you can use it for plants too. You can decrease here the spacing and make like some plants, some flowers. It's a very basic brush, but very useful. The P90 is a brush for plants too, for grasses, for anything. It adds more texture, so I like to have this one. This one, very crazy but very nice brush, right? I like this brush. The round 14, it's not round, you can see, but it's a brush for sketch. So if you press light, you need to press light and fast, so you can make really quick lines. And if you press too much, if you press a little harder, so it will add this shape here. So this brush here is for sketch rocks, sketch anything you want, and you can paint with it, and you can make bigger shapes and line shapes. The P2, it's a brush that I create to fill the canvas. If you don't know, the maximum size of the brush in Rebelle is 700, so for me it's small yet. So I made a brush to fill the paper, the canvas, and it's nice that there is some texture on it, but I made just to fill the canvas. The W1, it's a brush that I create to make water. So you can see that it has these spaces, white spaces. It's a test, it's a brush that I'm testing. I don't know it's good or not, but I think it needs to adjust better. But I think you understand what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get some white space between the brush, but I don't know if it will work because the watercolor, it will fill the spaces, but I'm testing it. The W2 is another brush that I test for water. I think this one works better, I think, maybe. But you can make like this one for ground, I think, ground, just some texture. I don't know. It's a ground brush, but I don't know if it's good enough. And the P36, it's a brush for sketch. It's my brush for everything. I like to have this type of brush here to make sketches, but I don't know if it works really well for watercolor, because again the texture on it don't make much difference, because water it fills the gaps. But I have this brush in all my programs, and I like to have this brush here for sketch. So that's it, my brushes that I will share I will put in the Escape Motion site, and I hope you like. I think that I don't know if it's ideal for watercolor, but I'm trying. And if you have any questions, just comment below. Send a message, send a signal. Okay, so see you there. Bye.